Hey buddy! Welcome back to the channel and to World of Warships. So today I'm featuring the Tier 10 German tank, the cruiser Hindenburg. So I haven't featured the Hindenburg in a while on my channel, and I was playing the Hindenburg this evening because I was on the forum in a thread discussing the different legendary modules, since a lot of players have been able to acquire the currency in the last space event. I think it was called Obrillium or something. And if you manage to collect 600 Obrillium, I think it was, you could purchase a legendary module in the armory. So it was quite a discussion on the forum about which legendary module to go for. I was considering both Republic and Grossovoy, but actually after a long debate with myself and with other players, I actually went for the SAO upgrade instead. And well, I'm pretty pleased I did. But in this thread there was a guy said that Hindenburg is crap. You shouldn't go for the legendary upgrade. Which was quite surprising to me, because I always felt like the Hindenburg legendary module was quite broken OP, since it pretty much make a really tanky tier 10 cruiser even more tanky. Because you pretty much never used to have to use your damage repair, because fires go out in 8 or 9 seconds or something. So you can pretty much sail around with 2 fires on your ship, and that's no biggie. But he was quite determined that this was crap, and they have changed the Hindenburg and they have nerfed it or something, he said. So Hindenburg wasn't viable to choose anymore. So I thought I had to check this out, and well, this game was the result. So as you can see, with me having the legendary module on my Hindenburg, gives me a 14k detection range, which isn't by far the worst. I think if you smack the legendary module on your Henry the 4th, I think you have like 15.8 detection or something. But of course you can't really sneak in with the Hindenburg using this module, but sneaking in like the SAO isn't really the way you should play the Hindenburg. Hindenburg is kind of in the way the SAO is as well, but also Henry. A really great and potent flank holder. And that is something I will also showcase in this video, what I'm talking about. So Hindenburg, just like SAO and Henry, are quite strong at the really short range or extremely far range. It's kind of in between, that mid-range, that the Hindenburg struggles the most, I would say. Because of course up close, at the really close range, it's almost impossible to citadel a Hindenburg, which I have shown quite a few times in my earlier Hindenburg, the tier 10 tank videos on my channel, where I pretty much face off against one or two tier 10 battleships and just destroy them pretty much, while they can't really do much to me. So I play a bit more cautious and passive in the start of the game, which you always should as a cruiser, because as a cruiser the biggest difference you can play for your team is always in the late game. So of course you need to survive until the late game to be able to have a big effect. So I was trying to contest the B cap by attacking the destroyer that was taken out by our destroyer. He took a torpedo hit, and then they had this enemy Vladivostok, that pushed into B, that I also started to contest pretty much. And he was finally finished off by one of my teammates. So now I'm pushing to pretty much secure the right flank for our team. And this is a great position for the Hindenburg, as well as Henri and Sao, to position yourself in. So we have secured the sea cap. We unfortunately lost our ships and the A cap down south, but we are in the progress of securing the B cap as well. We have a destroyer pushing the left flank, so in between him on the left flank, me spamming fires on the right flank, and the rest of our team in between in the B cap, we should be able to secure the map for a majority of the time at least. So I saw torpedoes coming from the A cap, so I'm just pinging the map for our carrier to give him notice that I think the enemy, I think it's a Shimakaze, is pushing from the A cap towards the B cap. So we really have to get some spots in on that destroyer. The problem is with the current CV meta, of course you have to run defensive AA on all your cruisers, which means I can't really slot my strong German Hydro, which would be great if I'm going to try and contest Shimakaze. At this point I see enemy North Carolina pushing around the island at the A cap, so I'm starting to turn around so I can start to kite him. And I don't want to show perfect full broadside to him when he pops out. You can see his shells in the air, but I have slowed down and angling my ship. And I would say that Hindenburg is probably the most forgiving of cruisers. As you've seen in my earlier videos, you can see that I play my Hindenburg quite carelessly, often showing way too much broadside to enemy battleships. And that is a bad habit that you usually end up doing in this cruiser, because a lot of the times you really get away with it. So this is a perfect kiting position for the Hindenburg. I angle my ship and start to kite away from the enemy fleet, pretty much herding them behind me, burning them down. So I pretty much force this North Carolina to waste a lot of time and a lot of health and a lot of shots on me. And I will always win this fight. And it doesn't really matter which battleship it is. If you see my earlier videos, you can see that I do this pretty much with Montanas and Republics and Yamatos. They can't really stand up to the firepower of the Hindenburg. So I'm burning this guy down, forcing him to slow down, forcing him to not really be that effective for his team. Because, of course, if I hadn't held this flank against these ships pushing, they have the perfect opportunity to pretty much create a crossfire situation. As you can see, that's low health Vladivostok on our team that was just taken out. The North Carolina could pretty much have killed him a long while ago. But he really couldn't, because he was just tunneling visioning on me instead. And this is pretty much the best thing you can do in a Hindenburg. Just hold a flank, make sure that the team can't really use the flank for creating crossfire situations, and then pretty much rely on your teammates to hopefully use the benefits of your tactics and make sure that they choose to use the time wisely. So I ping the map again for our carrier, because I want him to try and spot the enemy Shimakaze, because he is pushing into the B cap, and I don't want him to be able to cross-drop torps on our battleships down south. But as you can see, it's a pretty dire situation. We are 5 ships against 7 at this point. So this is gonna be a struggle, to say the least. So I have shots on the Shimakaze at 15-kilometer range, and I'm shooting with the spotter plane, which is never really easy. But if you practice it a lot, you can get pretty efficient with it. So I take out his engine, which forces him to slow down a bit, and with my second salvo I secure the kill, securing me my second kill of the game. But this game is far from over. So now I'm just trying to harass the enemy Wooster, because the Wooster is of course an extremely efficient fire spammer, and I want him to run away and hide, pretty much forcing him to not be able to help out his teammates like this Musashi pushing the B cap. And as you can see, the Musashi has pretty good support, with a enemy destroyer in front, scouting torps, also enemy Kutuzov and enemy Salem. So this is pretty much a nightmare situation. They have the biggest, greatest guns a battleship can have. They have one of the best, most potent fire spammers in the Kutuzov. They have great AP, great fire spamming and radar with the Salem. And of course the Asashio, who has really great detection. And they're all pushing the B cap. And it's only me, pretty low health Salem and our carrier left. So this is pretty much a sure loss for our team. But then again, I am playing the Hindenburg, and the Hindenburg really don't care about odds. So the Asashio smokes up the Salem. So instead I'm trying to draw focus to me from this Musashi, because I want my Salem buddy to be able to survive and push for the A cap. So I'm trying to show a bit broadside towards him and the cruisers, because I want them to focus me instead, because I know with my tank build and with my legendary module I can take a whole lot of punishment. I'm also trying to deal some punishment towards these low health cruisers with my German AP, but I'm not really effective in landing my shots. Now, of course, we have the enemy Lion pushing as well. So it's 5 ships I have to fight, and 4 of whom is targeting me right now. The enemy Musashi took some torps from our carrier. I must say that our carrier and the Salem did play this extremely well. I wouldn't be able to get the outcome of this game if it weren't for them. So my hat off to them, of course, for playing really great in this match. Salem is pushing the A cap to be able to secure that cap for our team, because we really need it, since the enemy right now has taken the B cap, and I'm pretty sure that the enemy Asashio is right now pushing for the C cap as well. And we really need that points income. I managed to secure the kill on the enemy Musashi. I'm up to 134,000 damage done. But the game is far from over. Yeah. Unfortunately, our Graf Zeppelin will get caught out by the enemy Asashio. He gets spotted close range to the enemy Salem as well, so I'm trying to kill the Salem as quick as possible, but unfortunately he managed to angle in right before my AP salvo hits, which forces my shells to bounce. Now, I'm not sure what the deal is with this Asashio, but there are so many shots that I take at him that I'm 100% sure will hit him. But they don't. It's like they're just disappearing into his hull, pretty much, without doing any damage. You will see this as well when I push into the B cap here. I feel like I have to make pretty drastic play here, because we are losing this match really fast, and of course we're gonna lose the Graf Zeppelin here as well. So this is the time for Hindenburg to shine, and this is something you can almost only do in the Hindenburg, which I have showcased in many of my other tier 10 tank videos. And that is to do this kind of plays in the end of the game. So I have the enemy Salem on my broadside to my left, which I have to be a bit cautious against. I have enemy Lion on my, well, right in front of my ship pretty much. I have the enemy Asashio. I have the Wooster and the Kutuzov in front. So I start by taking out the Salem, securing me my 4th kill, and now I'm just gonna push in and torp and murder this Lion. And this is where the German turtleback armor comes in play. So the Asashio starts to shoot me, and this is where I'm trying to shoot the Asashio while killing off the Lion in the background. And I am so sure that I aimed pretty well on these shots, but for some reason I miss pretty much every shot. It's like they just disappear right into the hull. There I got actually 1 hit. Yeah, well, whatever. So it was quite a good game, quite a fun game, and of course Hindenburg is as tanky as it ever was. I mean, they call it the battleship Hindenburg for a reason. So, Confederate, Dreadnought, of course, Kraken Unleashed, 170k damage done, 5 kills, 15 fires, 7 cap resets. So all in all, a pretty decent game. Made number 1 in the match, which is always nice, but I have to pay tribute to the other guys on my team who played this really well. Couldn't have done it without them. Also the Salem on the enemy team really tried to secure the win for their team in the end. And as you can see, I did damage to a lot of ships, tanking 1.6 million damage in a cruiser, which is quite good. And almost 40k damage was on my 15 fires that I set on the NC and Vladivostok and the other ships. So pretty good, decent credit and experience income. So I want to thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please leave a like and a comment below. And I see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.